Hello, hello, guys. This is Clement, your guy from Day Day Podcast. I'm right here in South Africa. I've been having some views on the international politics, especially in the second term of Donald Trump and the tech billionaire Elon Musk that are making news line. The headings online and also on South African politics concerning the comments of Donald Trump, the U.S. president, and the U.S. politician Julius Malema, CIC. So today we'll be looking at what is going on international news, and I'm gonna start on the head with the Donald Trump. Now, if we check at the American politics between Donald Trump and the Democrats, him being the Republican, if we can check at his first term, he made this other comment about South Africa. That is after AfriForum. We know AfriForum, that is one of the bureaus around South Africa and one of the organization led by bureaus, or rather the white people that are mostly known for farming in South Africa. They've been going all over the world and especially America and other countries, European countries, and then preaching a message that here in South Africa, the white people have been targeted politically, and I find that very surprising. And because if we check here in South Africa and check what is going on in South Africa concerning the white people and everything that they have in South Africa, we tend to find something that is very very surprising that AfriForum has done. Them going all over the world and reporting these things concerning South Africa and whatever that is going on in South Africa. Now we wanna check where to all come from. Of course, you cannot talk about AfriForum and not talk about Julius Malema. Now there is a song that is normally sung by Julius Malema in his rallies that says "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer." Now, where does this song come from? This is a struggle song sung by not only Julius Malema but uh, since it's a struggle song, all South Africans understand it. Actually, it's not a literal thing whereby Julius says "kill the farmer, kill the Boer," and all of that. So obviously, it's a struggle song. It doesn't mean that South Africans are killing white people, as uh, the American president interpret it according to whatever that he received, and we don't know where he got that information from. But it's quite obvious that since AfriForum has been preaching this all over the world, that Julius Malema is inciting violence against white farmers all over South Africa, and they've been preaching this all over the world and including in America. And this was um, it caught the attention of the Fox News, and now it was reported there in USA. And now I remember one of the tweets that Donald Trump, during his first term, he tweeted that he instructed Mike Pompeo to do investigation on South Africa. And personally, I was like, okay, what is this guy going to investigate about? Because obviously, when you take a flight from US to come to South Africa and try to check what is going on in South Africa, you still see a lot of white farmers owning their farms, and they still have their properties, and there's no more that you can find in South Africa. That is the truth of the matter. Even now, as I speak, there's no one, not even a single white person that has been confiscated of their land in South Africa. Now that song that Julius and sang in in his rallies all over South Africa when he was campaigning during the elections, singing that song. It's a struggle song whereby South African understand that song as a struggle song. So it's not necessarily something that the South Africans are doing. And now to face the facts, I want us to go and check. where these white farmers got their farms from. And now we have to face the things the way they happened. We have to speak the things the way they happened so that each and every person will understand what is going on all over the world. Um, Now we'll be able to understand that whatever that the white people are suggesting all over South Africa, uh, where does this come from? And what happened here in South Africa? We all know that there was a system of apartheid, and then there was a land act that was passed in those days, and the land was confiscated from black people, obviously by force, and black people were never compensated for their land, and now it was taken from them by force. And now they came the American politics, the democracy, or the system of democracy, um, invented by the Americans. And now the system of apartheid was abolished in South Africa. And one thing that was done, it was now the land of black people was never returned to black people. It was still in the hands of the white farmers, or the white people rather, in South Africa, who are owning the land. And now you are having Julius Malema studying the economic freedom fighter, which is EFF, or the Red Berets. You can call them the Reds or call them the EFF. And now one of the problems that Julius had was he can see that yes, we have democracy, but our democracy, it doesn't have what we call economic freedom. That's why if you check, EFF is built upon economic freedom. What does that mean? Economic freedom, according to Julius Malema, is black people are still suffering even though they say they are in democracy. Now all of that makes Julius to be very, very angry. Why? Because Julius, um, if you listen to Julius, he defends black people, and not only black people in South Africa, but he defends every black person in Africa. And if you check, he preaches equality between white people and black people. And the only problem that, if you listen to him, that he has a problem of white masters who think they are better than white people. That is, according to Julius Malema, that he believes that all people are equal under the democracy. Now, which is what Americans are preaching, that democracy is about equality, it's about the human rights. Now, if you look at the landscape of South Africa, about 70% or so is still owned by the minority of the white Boers in South Africa, or the white people in South Africa, which is not equality, because the white minority owning the large chunk of the land in South Africa, that is inequality on its own. And now, if you start to check how many people are here, which of course I'm talking about the black people in South Africa, I find that they are the majority that are ruling here in South Africa. And still now the problem is, even though the black people are still the majority, now the large chunk of our land here in South Africa is still owned by white people, which are the minority. And that is not what democracy is all about, because democracy is about equality between all races. And now, yes, I know Donald Trump, as of now, is holding the biggest office in the world. Of course, that is true. Either we like it or we don't like it. And now, if you start to check who Donald Trump is and where he come from, you start to understand that this guy, he owns what we call a Trump Tower. And now, when you start to check his behavior during those times, start to understand that even in the Trump Tower, black people were not allowed to own a flat there, or to rent a flat there. Now you start to understand that the spirit of racism is also there in Donald Trump's life. It lives in him, because these are the facts. Of course, I know right now is the powerful man in the world, because of the office that is holding in the White House. And now, but here in South Africa, if we come and now we start to look at things that are going on in South Africa, in reality, not what is being preached here online by Elon Musk and Donald Trump and the Afri Forum. There is no white person that is being suppressed in South Africa. These people are still rich. They're still staying in the most expensive towns. They are owning a lot of expensive properties in South Africa. Now, what is this that Donald Trump is preaching, and Elon Musk? They are preaching. These guys, as for Elon, if you go and start to check his history spoken by his father, you start to understand that this guy was living a very beautiful life here in South Africa. He attended the most beautiful school in South Africa. the Pretoria High, and you start to understand that whatever that he's preaching is because he's just trying to punish South Africa. Because if you start to check his personal vendetta and start to check that why is it clashing with Julius Malema, is because his company was never given any right to operate in South Africa. Why? Because here in South Africa we have a law in terms of private business ownership that is called BEEE, or broad based black economic empowerment. That is, when you want to do business in South Africa, um, you have to take a particular percentage of the ownership of your business and give it to a black person. Now, I think Elon Musk is pushing all of that and is trying to punish the South Africans because they never gave him the go ahead of that. And now, um, as for the white people here in South Africa, the Afri Forum, whatever they've been preaching all over the world, including in the US, it's absolutely a lie. These guys, they are enjoying the most properties in South Africa, and now the act that Cyril Ramaphosa has passed in the parliament, it is the right, because if you check what it means and how it's explained, is that now there is a lot of land that is in the hands of the white people here in South Africa, and now it's not being used. And now you're having um black people are suffering all because now they don't have space for government to be able to help their people in terms of economic land use and other things. Obviously, if the government is seeing now a farm that has not been used and has been sitting there for years and years, yes, the government should have a right to take that land without compensating anybody and use it for public purposes. And you start to understand that all of that has to be done by the government, so that black communities will change and the life of a black person will change. And now that is why Elon Musk is pushing all of this vendetta against Julius Malema, and all of that. He's trying to create a coup between South Africa and USA because he failed to push his business in South Africa, and he was never given the right to do so because he want to crush the BEE in South Africa so that the black people will not benefit from his companies. And it's quite obvious that if you are coming to South Africa, you should be able to follow the policies of this country and all the acts that are passed by the parliament and the president and the people, of course. And you can't just jump in South Africa and do business. There are laws here. We are a law abiding citizens, and we have a law and policies. And now, if we understand that Elon Musk is the most richest person, but you can't just come and dictate how things should be done in South Africa. Yeah, we understand that as for of now, he dictates how the White House should do things. Yes, they've given him an office, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. But this is South Africa. We don't live like Americans here. We have acts, and we have to. Julius Malema and all South Africans have the right to defend the black communities. And now, as for the white people, they can make their claims that, of course, they are not truth. And we should remind them that what they have done during apartheid to the black South Africans, it is way worse than what they are claiming. They killed our people. They did whatever they wanted to do to our people. They killed our youth. They've done all evil things against our black people. And now today, are these the same people that we allow to stay in South Africa who are claiming that they've been abused, and still they're holding the properties here in South Africa? And here they are claiming that they've been abused and they have been suppressed and they are not recognized, and which is, of course, it's not true in South Africa. Because if Donald Trump, he moves from US and come in this country and check what is going on in this country, you will find peace in this country. This is one of the countries where there is peace. And we are not suppressing white people. But at the end of the day, Julius Malema, I think, is right, because our black people should have properties, or our government should be able to use certain land that is unused in the hands of the white farmers to be able to help their people. Because if you come and check in South Africa, for example, people that were displaced from their real um, land during that act that was passed. You check where they're staying right now. It's a place where there is no rain, and now they're building on top of mountains where the government can be able to deliver services to their people. So they will understand that now. They in USA where they are able to deliver the services to their people. Why? Because there is enough land for everyone there. Now here in South Africa, it's a different context of black people here, because where they are staying, one of the issues that I just found out recently in one of the municipalities here in one of the provinces of South Africa called the Limpopo province is one of the municipalities were trying to deliver services to their community. And then now it happened that one of their trucks, when it was trying to climb the mountain, and the driver was trying to maneuver along the road, and now the truck fell with the water that he was trying to deliver to the people. Now you start to understand that now our our black people are building upon mountains where our government is unable to deliver services to them. Now, if there is a farmlands that are unused, the government shall have the right to use that land to help their people. And I believe that under democracy is the right thing to do, for the government to be able to use the land and to help the people, because democracy is about equality, and there are other rights of democracy in the Bill of Rights that are supposed to be exercised by every government that are under democracy. Now, if Donald Trump will go online and now cut certain aid to South Africa, like what he has cut, like the 17% of aid of HIV and AIDS program to the South Africans. That is unfair, and that should not be done, because here in Africa, or here in South Africa, if we look towards the Americans, we will look at them as they are people who don't care about black people. That's how black people will look uh, at America. So now, if Donald Trump is going to do that, trying to punish the South African by taking whatever that is taken away, and all the future funds that he has promised to cut off, or rather that he has freezed or cut off, that whatever that is said online. Now he's going to rather provoke black people here in Africa, because let me tell you the truth. The thing is, um, black people are able to survive on their own. Yes, I understand that when it comes to AIDS, that is something else that obviously they will need to buy ARVs from them. Yes, and matter of fact, Africa is able to afford those things. I agree, we have minerals here. And another thing that Americans should not forget is that on the world politics, they know that China is behind them. And if China is behind them and they want to suppress Africa like this, they will provoke African people. And if African people are provoked, let me tell you the truth, that they act. And when they act, they will cut every tie with America. And let me tell you what they will do. This is the solution, or that they will want to use in Africa. They will allow Chinese to come in this continent and open up the market, and allow the Chinese to come and buy their minerals. And let me tell you something, and there will not going to be hunger. If America thinks they're going to be hunger in this country, they're not going to be hunger. Matter of fact, America is using the minerals that are in South Africa. Your Apple, your even him, the Tesla, whatever that is using there is from this continent. This continent is rich in minerals. And if he thinks that by the dollars that they are printing, we know that the real money is not dollar. A dollar is just a paper that is printed. And now we know that the real money is minerals. And South Africa is a rich. South Africa and the African countries are rich. And now, if they continue to behave like that towards South Africans and towards the Africans, they will lose Africa. And let me tell you something: when they lose Africa, they will run out of business, because this is the home of minerals. This is the home of wealth. And the white people, they know that this African continent is the home of wealth. That's why they invaded this country long time ago. And you know what they were eyeing for? They were looking to get all the minerals here. Matter of fact, almost most of the gold that England has is from this continent. We all know that even most of the minerals that were on the crown or the scepter of the Queen Elizabeth is from this continent. Matter of fact, one of the piece of two of the piece of diamonds that was on the scepter of Queen Elizabeth and also on the crown, it is from South Africa. Now, if Trump is going to attack South Africa, he's going to lose not just South Africa. He's going to lose the whole continent, because matter of fact, you will start seeing this. Now, all the camps of the American soldiers will be closed, will be shut down here in Africa. And let me tell you something, that Burkina Faso has done that. Rather, many countries have done that, shut down all the camps of their soldiers. And let me tell you something, if the America loses that, they are losing the market of Africa, they are losing the minerals, and China is always ready. Putin is always ready. We know that they are competing with China. We know they are competing with Russia. We know that. We know that that is their competitor. China is their biggest competitor. And if they lose Africa, they know they are out. They are as much as England as kingdom has declined, and even the America is declining. It's a kingdom that is declining, and now their fears is that now if it declines between Russia and China, it will take over. It will take over as a superpower, and now that is what they are afraid of. And now Trump is just going to serve there for 4 years. That is 4 years, and now we know that he's going to serve there for 4 years. And let me tell you something: as much as the white person thinks that is special in the whole world than black people, this is the same thing that black people think. They think they are special. Everyone thinks they are special in their own context. And if white people like Trump, they think they are special. Even black people think they are special. And now, if we were to say no, if they are keeping their ARVs, we're going to keep our own thing. We can farm for ourselves. So who said that we can't farm? Now, before these white people invaded Africa, what were we eating as black people? Black people were still eating and surviving. Yes, I understand they've came in Africa and introduced their businesses, their KFCs, and they're all different kind of businesses that brought the Western lifestyle in Africa. But that is just a lifestyle of the Western people that we are just living now. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a life and a way of living. We have a way of living, and we have our way of lifestyle. And now we're not gonna just sit here and look at Donald Trump insulting our people. We're just gonna we're just not going to sit here and hear Donald Trump talking whatever that he's saying about Africa. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna allow them. And now, if he's inviting the white people, now I think to a certain extent, I agree with Julius to say if they want to go there as refugees in America, now let them go. We can't beg them to stay here, because now whenever you beg somebody, they think they're even way more special than you. Because when you beg too much, that's what happens. People tend to undermine you. Now, if the Buddhists want to go, or now the white farmers want to go to get the refugee status in 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 USA, according to whatever that Donald Trump has said, inviting them there, and now we're not going to stop them. We're going to allow them to leave. We're going to allow them to go there. Of course, we're going to allow them to go there, and there's nothing we can do. And now, what is going to happen in South Africa now? We're going to take tractors. We're going to take all the properties that are needed, all the seeds, and we're going to put them in the ground. We're going to work, because let me tell you something. We're not going to sit down and start to beg for bread from America. We're not going to sit down and start to beg for things from USA. We're going to work. And let me tell you something. If you go to all the farms of the white people or the white farmers, you don't find a white man on top of a tractor. No, that is a lie. You find black people working in that farm. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. Black people are hard workers. They are the one who are doing all these farms. Matter of fact, some of them are not even paid enough money, and they're treated like slaves. And now, if these farms belongs to them, let me tell you something. They're gonna work that land. Let me tell you something. As black people, we know how to work the land. Nobody must lie to us and say that we don't know how to farm. Now, we've taken our children to agriculture school. Matter of fact, there are many children that have graduated from agriculture school, and they are ready to plow. They are ready to work the land. We will work our land, and there's no way that we're going to suffer and then not eat. We will eat. We will eat, and because we will farm our land, we will work our land. If now Donald Trump, you want to continue with this, whatever that he has decided to continue against South Africans with all of his sanctions, even though he can cut South Africa from AGOA, since he has cut us from whatever funding that he has cut us from. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of countries that will buy food from. We can go from to the east. There are a lot of countries there that are selling a lot of things. Rather, we will buy from them. We'll buy Chinese technology. If you check behind me, this is Chinese product. There's nothing American here. This is Chinese product, and now we will use the Chinese product if America thinks we need them. We'll go to China if they think we're not going to find a solution. We'll go to China. Chinese have built great technologies. And now let me tell you something. It's not only people of America that are doing miracles with technology. Chinese are doing great things. They're innovating. They're innovative. And that's why if you look at Americans, they ran to Taiwan. That is a Chinese country. They ran to Taiwan for their chips. Is because they can't produce something of their own. It's quite obvious that China is having an upper hand over America because all their technologies, all their military, they are using the Chinese technology, and they know this is the matter of fact, and they know that they themselves are not being innovative enough because now they are using everything from Taiwan. If you go to their military, all the chips they are using is from Taiwan. You go to Tesla from Elon Musk's company, is using Nvidia technology. Nvidia is using the Taiwanese chips in their products. Now, so America, they can't be sitting there and telling us and dictating how we should live in South Africa. We have the right to use our land. We have a right to use this land. And if uh, the Boers, they're not gonna allow us to use that land, we're just gonna take it and use it for the public purposes because our people, they need that land. We can't allow people to suffer while they have their land. Yes, we understand that this was never solved in 1994. And this is what white people were afraid of when they were negotiating with Nelson Mandela concerning the land. But now, this is another generation. We are no longer saving white people here. We are living in a generation whereby we are ready to work for ourselves. I'm one of that example. I'm working with my own hands. And there are a lot of young people that are working with their own hands. They are not going to a white man and begging anything. We are ready to work with our own hands. And this is what Americans should know. We are ready to work with our own hands and produce our own products, either be farming, either be technology, either be innovation, whatever that it is that it will take us for us to survive as South Africans. We will do it. We will do it because this generation is another generation. This is not a generation that is mentality of apartheid where we think a white man is above us. No, they are not. We are human beings. God has created us equally. He has created us equally. And the color of our skin should not dictate who a better person is. No. Matter of fact, we are human beings also here in Africa, and we're not going to keep quiet. And now, in my conclusion, Donald Trump, whatever that he is, whatever power that is flexing, I was just reminding him that we as South Africans, we are ready to put on the hands. We have hands that we can work on. And now, as for Julius Malema is doing great thing to defend the black people. Is defending the black community, which is very, very important because we are also God created. We are not created by the devil. We are created by God. The same God who created white people is the same God who created black people. And the same God see us the same way. And I heard him saying now, we'll protect all the Christians. We'll protect all the Christians. If he claims that he's going to protect the Christians, there are a lot of Christians in South Africa that he must protect. Why is he taking all the ARVs and all of that? Exposing even the Christian community. Now, Julius must continue to do that work. That brother is protecting this continent. That brother is speaking for us as black people. And a matter of fact, that act was passed because of that gentleman, Julius Malema. We salute what he's doing. We salute what he's doing as black people. And now, if white people want to leave this country, let them leave. We can't beg them to stay here. We will work our land and we will produce the food. Our hands are ready, our minds are sharp, and then we will put on the work. And then we will trade with other countries like China. Matter of fact, we'll trade with them, whatever we are producing. They will trade with their technology, we will trade with our production. So if the white people want to leave, let them leave. And now, AfriForum, they've been crying that No, South Africa is our home. And even these people from Orania, we were born here and now we can't leave South Africa. Are these not the same people that have been saying now they have been oppressed in South Africa? Now, if they want to leave, let them leave. If they want to go and be refugees in America, let them go there. But who will stay in our land? This is our home. This is where what we are. We are black, we are Africans, and we are proud of that. Now, in my conclusion, if Donald Trump, you're not happy, there's nothing we can do. We are sorry. We are black and we are proud. Ciao. Catch me on the next episode, guys, and then we'll talk more of politics and other things, both international and local. Ciao. Stay well.